known. Do you mind praying for us?
Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you to come before us today and allow us to be in your presence, to give us the wisdom and knowledge to do your work through our eyes and through our minds and through our hearts, and do the things that the citizens have asked us to do. We may not always make everyone happy, Lord Jesus, but I ask, God, that you will give us the wisdom that we need to make our decisions. I ask also, Lord, for all those that watch the eclipse, that they won't be blinded in the future of their retinas. I ask this through your Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, so I have a motion for approval of the agenda. Motion by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Holmes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, our motion carries. Approval of minutes.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Teachner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Recognition of the public. We have Mr. David Klein. Commissioner Klein, take your name and address for the record, please.
David Klein, 398 Brandon Mill Road, Gallatin, Tennessee, 37066. Tonight I'm addressing the committee as the chairman of the Planning Commission, and I have a pre-written document here that I'd like to read. On February 20th, 2024, at our regular scheduled Planning Commission meeting, Mayor Isbell was the first to speak during public comments. He warned the Planning Commission that we were opening up a liability position and that we should, quote, cease all operations until such time as we become compliant with state law TCA 13-3-101. A week later, on February 26, 2024, during the regularly scheduled County Commission meeting, after announcing that both of his selections for the Planning Commission had withdrawn due to negative recommendations by this committee, the mayor again stated that the Planning Commission was operating illegally. In his final statement to Chairman Hyde, he said, quote, before I submit, I ask that you direct the committee to provide a list of the approved businesses and industries that I can pick from to bring citizens on board to serve in this capacity, end of quote. 2 weeks later, March 11th, 2024, during the regularly scheduled Committee on Committees meeting, Chairman Mansfield read a pre-written statement that he had composed responding to the mayor's request to Chairman Hyde. In his statement, he made 3 points. 1, candidates should be chosen as to avoid conflicts of interest. 2, candidates should not be able to abuse power. And 3, candidates should not be chosen if there is a perception of impropriety. Chairman Mansfield specifically stated that any ties to the construction industry, as in developers, builders, and real estate sales, could be problematic. As an audience member, I thoroughly understood what the chairman was stating. In closing his statement on the subject, he identified 2 members of the public who had sent in resumes that, if presented at that meeting, would have gotten a positive recommendation. The mayor did not put those names forward. In order for the Sumner County Regional Planning Commission to properly function, we need to get past this dark cloud we are sitting under. If we are operating illegal, as the mayor has stated, then everything we've done since the end of 2022 can be legally challenged. Some things, like revising the zoning code, is a recommendation to the full commission. I believe it might be difficult to prove that recommendations such as that could be reversed, since we are not the final say on that matter. However, last month we approved the final plat on the limit. The law is clear that the mayor puts forward his candidates and the commission votes up or down on those candidates. These are the checks and balances the state of Tennessee has designed into the county government system. The mayor has asked and the committee has answered on what they are looking for in acceptable candidates for the 2 remaining positions. It seems to me that we should be able to fill these spots tonight. As chairman of the Sumner County Regional Planning Commission, I am requesting that you please get this done. I would like to enter this into the
Thank you. All right, let's begin public comments. Chairman. I did want to add, well, I should have done this before we got the agenda, my apologies, but there is the Equalization Board that we didn't realize needed to be nominated this month in an even year. Myself, and I don't think any of us called this, well, probably didn't catch it either. Basically, if the commission does not appoint this month, recommend county mayor will do so in an even number of years. And so I didn't have an objection to the county mayor appointing these members, reappointing or appointing to the Board of Equalization. I don't know if you guys any thoughts there, but I don't have any recommendations last minute. He emailed us late Friday night about this. I saw it over the weekend. First I heard of it, so.
you have three, excuse me, make a motion to discuss this?
Yep.
Second.
So we have,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people that are expiring in April.
Correct.
And so your recommendation that if I'm hearing you correctly, you're going to allow him to appoint those same people to whoever he prefers without,
So my, I think a reasonable interpretation of law is the fact that the county commission must elect the members, and if we don't, the county mayor appoints. I mean, we didn't realize we had that appointment even up, and so we need to do it this month. Otherwise, the county mayor does. So I don't have any recommendations. I don't know these people who are on there now. I personally haven't researched it, just got it at that time. And so it does default to the county mayor to be able to appoint. He was a property assessor previously, so I think it makes sense.
I don't have a problem with it, just a little bit, he should have told us earlier, I guess, maybe. How would I have known about this, though, since he didn't send it? How would I?
Well, it's just one of those things that it's just us fighting and keeping on top of it. This fell through the cracks, unfortunately. It's because it's an odd situation. It's not like every year is renewable. We're looking every month. It's just every other year, only in 1 month. So
That answered my question.
it just kind of fell through the cracks. So
Yeah, that's fine.
but I mean, I don't think there's any action for us to take other than unless the commission wants to vote on it on Monday. But I mean, I don't think there's any. Again, I don't know these people. I don't know if they're the best for the job or not. So, but at this point, I'm okay defaulting to the county mayor to appoint. It doesn't need an election from the county commission, so it wouldn't come before the county commission. He would just appoint. Is that your interpretation from the law department?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. So, just wanted to throw that out there for discussion. So, let you guys know. County mayor's not here, so. All right.
So we don't vote, that just automatically.
It just automatically happens unless you guys have recommendations for this committee for tonight. But I don't, because I didn't realize it. I haven't had a chance to research whether these candidates or not. So I wouldn't have been able to make a decision. And it has to be made this month. So that's our option. All right, move on to old business. Sumner County Regional Planning Commission for your term. I've not seen the county mayor put any names forward yet, so it's kind of hard for us to do anything without any names. So we'll move that to old business without any objection for May.
Wasn't last month the same situation, or was it last month?
Last month, he did not have names to put forward either.
So it's 2 months ago.
2 months in a row, yeah. The county mayor's not put forward names for this board. So again, it's one of those things. By law, you have to have 5 members of the planning commission. Also by law, we have 5 members on the planning commission. Also by law, you have to have, the balance is supposed to be for, a majority citizens over commissioners, which we don't have. So it's kind of a weird, state law is not anticipating a conflict, and we have a conflict here because we're within our statutory authority of operating as a board with 5 members, but at the same time, say, okay, you're not in compliance with state law because you have to have 7 members. And then you have the 2 branches of government where the executive and the executive appoints and the legislative approves, but if the legislative doesn't approve the executive's nominees, or if the executive doesn't put forward nominees, where do you go from there? I mean, it's kind of like, so right now we're making a good faith effort. We put forward somebody, a citizen, in December. And we had pushed forward other two citizens with a negative recommendation just because we thought it was conflict of interest. When we pushed them for the full commission, we can't help the fact that those people pulled their rating back, or the mayor pulled them back. I mean, we're doing our due diligence in continuing to push people forward.
That's all you can do. So essentially, what Mr. Fine, thank you. Oh, wow, I just hit the eclipse. When he said about default, because there are not enough members, and if what he was saying that we were not legally doing their job, and he's saying that they could be challenged, then
Let's make a motion for discussion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
so, I'm sorry, so essentially, we could be, it could be that those decisions, especially some of the bigger ones, could be challenged in the court.
It's subjective interpretation because, again, we're showing good faith. The law, there's a problem with the law. We're following the law in our process, and it's just unfortunately the law is incompatible with the process that the law set forth, and therefore the law is flawed.
Who could we get to fix?
You have to have the General Assembly to fix it next year.
Okay, is that something we could present, maybe ask about?
I mean, it's just how, so I don't have answers for you right now. That's just kind of, it's like a merry-go-round. Commissioner.
He made a very bold statement in 2 different meetings about not having the correct number of people on 2 runs without any recommendation.
I mean, again, we do have the correct number of people based on one law, 5, and then we have another, well, he was partially accurate. He's grossly
If he was that concerned, then he just has too much to put one in.
correct, we don't have to.
We don't have nothing.
What happens if we get to, like, I know you're actually hitting on it, but how do we overcome a log jam bottleneck kind of thing, where that if it's like, and I mean, I'm not saying anything ill about the mayor or the commission, just saying if we get to the point where that there's not anyone put forward, there's nothing, and then if they don't meet the criterion that we would want, I mean, there's just not a way to elect. So my next question is there any way to change that county mayor recommendation to commission recommendation?
You have to change state law.
Okay, so I thought that was an answer. I just had to make sure. Okay. That's all I need. Thank you.
Any questions, clear as mud on that, on the conflicts in state law? Again, we're doing what we can to make good faith effort to move forward. So I feel like we have a good standing. Should anything come up, because we're doing all we can. We can't help it. The mayor's doing it. So we are willing to vote on nominees up or down. And that's just, we're on our 3rd month, and nobody to vote on. Next month will be the 4th month. So, and 2 citizens, I mean, they're in the package. We're friends with the mayor, put their names forward, and we asked last month. I mean, these are 2 people who I think meet our qualifications of not being a perceived conflict of interest in the construction industry and making money off votes in my case necessarily. So, and those were not put forward. So I don't know what else to say there.
I got faith it's going to work out. They're going to put forward something.
And move that to old business without any objection. All right, new business, Sumner County Library Board of Trustees 3-year term. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
All right, motion by Commissioner Melvin to discuss.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Teacher. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, floor is open. Questions?
I wanted to start off, did you have I'm not going to jump in front. So I spoke with Pam Teller and with Eric Stockton. Those are the 2 I've spoken with. I thought they were great candidates. I wanted to make sure that, Pam Teller, she can't be here tonight. She said she was mixed up on the night and she didn't know. And so she's got a book club, which just seems appropriate. But she's meeting with the big book club tonight. And she was very, disappointed that she couldn't be here because she wanted to come and just be here in case there were questions or anything like that. So I just want to convey that because when I spoke with her, she said that her apologies. She wanted to say she really wanted to be here. She just didn't want to leave her book club, hanging because I think she was pretty involved in it tonight for the anyway, I just wanted to say that she told me also that just in case anybody has any questions or in case the public wants to know. So she's an avid reader. She's got grandkids in 2 schools here. She's been here since '93. She owns Nothing But Cakes. She was a real estate agent for years. And you know, I mean, even the environment when you walk in Nothing But Cakes is really great. I mean, it's like the employees and everything. It just seems like a good, healthy environment. And I spoke to her for a pretty long time, just asking her. And I asked her the question because it's been posed about library member and library cards. All that has been posed. And I wanted to say, just full disclosure, she doesn't have a library card, but it doesn't bother me. I'm going to recommend her for this.
You don't need one.
The reason why I like what she said, she went when her grandkids were old enough, all of them, and she got all of them library cards, and she takes them to the library once a week. So they're regular, and they go there, and they read all the time. She said she just prefers to own her books because she likes to highlight and mark up, and I don't think the library would like that kind of marking up and highlighting. So I think that it all, in good reason, makes sense why she doesn't have one, but she's very invested in what the library system is. I just want to make sure that was clear. In case it comes up, I don't want to smear her name because she doesn't have a library card, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure that's something I actually think is wonderful. I think it's a great reason to have her as a recommendation. She is conservative, just like I am. Just to be clear, she's a member of Long Hollow. She employs around 100 employees. I mean, there's a lot of great things about this woman that would bring a great thing to our county. I do believe that very strongly. So I think she should be recommended just for that statement. And then I wanted to say about Eric Stockton. I spoke with him for a long time, and he really seems like he's really would be a great asset as well. And so, I mean, those two, I just want to make sure that you know that I've spoken, and Kay Brooks too, but I didn't speak to her about the library board. I've spoken to her, I know her, but I don't want to be misleading. I've actually spoken to the other two about things like that. So just wanted to share that with everybody because, for the record, because I know citizens are watching and citizens need to know what's going on and who we're speaking to and what the conversations went like. And I had a wonderful conversation with those two. And I know Kay, and I've had great conversations with her, but not about the library board yet. But that's on me, it's not on her. But just so you know, I haven't spoken to the other two either.
I was just saying, I spoke with Cam2 as well, and same thing. I think she would be a great asset.
Well, I've talked to Ms. Keller. I talked to Mr. Stockton briefly, parking lot. And I know Ms. Brooks, and I have talked to her about the library board. And Mr. Ray, I do know Mr. Ray. He's actually a constituent in my district, and I know him very well. He's been extremely helpful for me, especially during the tornado. He was there helping my family when we were in a tragic situation. I like him. I do not know Mike Bryan. I did not talk to him. But I have talked to the others. Again, like the other ones we had last month, I felt they were all very qualified. And I would like to say something about the emails that we get about library board, the chosen people that get on the list, and the emails that we get from the constituents out there. And some of them are canned responses, and there is a lot of attacking that goes on with who is put on the list, and it's actually, a lot of it's directed to Mr. Mansfield, which I think is quite unfair, for the fact that I read every resume that comes through, even if it's not on the list, and I research people. And as Jamie said last month, I don't vote for Democrats. Sorry. I was voted in as a Republican, and I vote Republican. So I do my research. So I wanted to just put that out there, that's how I am, and if you know, people will be, I'm sure I'll get a lot of emails, but I just want to be honest and transparent. So, but again, the only thing that I see here that could be, I don't know what town you live in, you know, if you live in Portland or you're West London, and do we look at putting people on there that are in the different jurisdictions? And right now I don't know who's on the library board and what city they're from. So we have 2 from Gallatin and 2 from Hendersonville, and then Mr. Stockton. I'm not real clear where he lives. I didn't see
He's
it.
at Cotton County area.
Cotton County.
Kind of
So,
closer to 25 and not quite Cotton
Yeah.
County, but kind of right there.
but again, it's not Mr. Bryan's problem. I just haven't talked to him. I had an emergency with family this week, and just haven't had a lot of time. So, anyway, I was good with all of them, actually. So, not talking with Mr. Bryan at this time. But he has a lot of good credentials.
I want to say one more thing. I almost forgot to say. Because when I spoke with Ms. Teller, I thought one of the things that was really impressive is she is a conservative, just like myself. But the thing that I liked about it is she said that she believes there needs to be less divisiveness. She believes that there needs to be more kindness in the county, and everyone should be represented in the way of like not ruling out somebody and not pushing away. But she still believes in conservative values. So all that's filtered through a conservative worldview and lens. And that's the way I want to vote. If anybody needs an explanation on why I vote, how I vote, I like people to understand it, because I care so much about everyone, even if they have different viewpoints than myself. It's just my worldview doesn't allow me to vote in an opposite direction. Even though I care very much about that person, I'm still going to vote for the thing. I mean, that's why we are elected, and that's the job. I don't think it's even difficult. I think it's the job of just loving on people correctly and doing the right thing by what your worldview stands for. And so that's really important to me, that we're transparent, that we're not fake, that we're not any of that. And so I just think it's really important just to say that I love that her statements about that really impressed me. And so I really do believe that we should put her forward. I mean, I don't know if we need to put everybody forward or not, but I think that she would be a great one to put forward for one. And I think that Eric would be a great one also. I don't know how many weeks we're going to put forward this month. I'm willing to vote up or down anybody we need to vote on, but I just want to be transparent with him.
One thing that, when I talked to Ms. Teller, I actually have talked to the others, she, and all these folks here are business people. They all have a formidable business that they do. They deal with the public. They serve on different types of boards. And they interject with the community. They've done fundraisers for people. And I'm not sure what is the disconnect from a lot of this. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm with Jamie over here. I'm going to ask this quite frankly. Do we, because of what I saw happen last month with the other candidates, and they were all in one big bucket, and then we pushed them through, and then we voted on the committee, in the commission, each person, and each one of those persons there was no yes vote for any of them, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I thought that was really unfair to the citizens. Do we do just one at a time and then give a month and, see how it goes? Because I honestly think there's some other agenda under all of this that's causing these people not to get elected to by the commission, and I'm concerned about it. So I'm just saying that I'm being honest with you.
That means whatever you guys want to do, if you want to make a motion.
Well, here's what I would like to do, and I would like to make a motion that since everybody has spoken with Ms. Teller, and basically has the same consensus, that we vote to push her through with a positive recommendation,
Second.
to the full commission, and then we can discuss what we want to do with everybody else. But I agree with you.
All right, so right now, Pam Taylor,
Yep.
got a motion, we got a second.
Fantastic.
I agree.
Move her forward,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? She's your second, all right. What about the other board meetings? Is that something you guys want to, for May, or talk about?
I think at this point, I would like to defer the rest of them to next year. That's my motion. And I mean, whatever you guys think, and give everybody time to speak with all of them, so that, we can come back and have a discussion.
Okay.
Because what I heard was, sorry, I don't know if I did a discussion thing. What I heard was that not everybody got to talk to everybody. So not everybody was able to get to everybody. So, but everybody apparently was able to get with Ms. Taylor. I think she. But anyway, I'm not sure, but I know what I heard was you guys didn't get to talk to everybody. Like me, I didn't get to talk to Mr. Bryan.
Okay. So that was a motion, there was a second to defer, all four names to, May. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll defer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?